Here's Landry. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And this throw will be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
And now out comes Minnesota. They run it here. Where? And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
Now Cook. That's complete right around the 8. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's the fullback from 6 yards away. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is right through. After the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Off the play fake, Mariota. He'll buy some time right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Martin, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. back to it after the pick six. Mariota. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
And he finds Stills, complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. That's the type of play there that puts a defense in a stress. Marcus Mariota on the run. You don't know whether he's going to take it downfield or throw the footballs we just saw there. And, boy, was he accurate with that one.
And, you know, the Oregon coaches offered him a scholarship without ever seeing him start a game because they saw him in camp. They saw plays like that, offered him.
He didn't start very much in high school, but he started a lot once he got to Oregon.
On second down, Mariota again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to D'Angelo Williams, and it's third down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. On third down, Mariota. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings. Throwing, Cook. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Back to throw now on first down. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
He's got the completion to Strong. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Now Cook. Now they go screen. It's complete. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So on now is the punter, Matt Bosher, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On second down, Williams muscles him off. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Third and short yardage. Mariota shreds the tackle. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. On 4th down, they snap it to Mariota. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So make it back-to-back sacks, and this second one cost him a couple of points.
And the easy thing is to put this all on the offensive line, but maybe they need to start changing their game planning and their calls. Quicker passes, running plays, especially when you're this deep in your own territory.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. He won't go down. Now the Minnesota offense.
ghetto editorial. See me like milk and Oreos. Dipped inside the audio. Platinum plaques in my portfolio. My lines are finest. They blow your mind like you could do what you wanna do. Whether group or solo. Boston cold with a bowl of chili. Summer cheesesteak on the roll in Philly. I'm a patriot, don't do a hatred. If you make that beef, I'll smack you silly. Back on up on this. Before you with this, you better walk up and off the building up. Yes, oh, got the heat up the show. Face up the thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey, Paul, let him know.
I'll stop for nothing. I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one to tee off.
Novus ordo seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us. They could not destroy us.
Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline?
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my TPS.
Everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one. Yes, son.
Ooh, love, it's in my bones, it's in my soul. You're never gonna break me down, oh no. I've got gold running through my veins. One shot.
Still a long way to go in this draft, but if you can lock up a few key positions here in the first few picks, it's a great luxury to have. Yeah, not too much analysis needed here. This is quite a get at this stage of the draft. And this team does have a lot of needs, but this guy is a legitimate star, and he'll make everyone around him better.
It's in my bones, it's in
Maybe not a huge upgrade over what they had already, but they're certainly building up some depth there.
I wanna be. Oh, say what you wanna say, I'll do it my way. I'm swimming in a sea of dreams all day. Nobody's
Still some big holes remaining to be filled. Here's where... Oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into a starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade.
who I wanna be. You don't gotta believe in me, gotta believe in me, gotta believe in me.
This is a pretty telling pick here. Do you go for a big bruiser up front, or get yourself someone who could be a difference maker at a skill position? These are the rounds you love to see. Some big names to choose from here. We've seen one St. Louis Ram come off the board. Might we see another? And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you could be left with some real holes on your... And there's a pick that does fill a hole, but I'm not sure that it's really going to be the one that improves the overall squad a tremendous amount. Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody falls into your lap. It's the age-old question on draft day. What's the bigger need, offense or defense? Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches or someone who can really help you out at a playmaker type spot?
Where the man says it's gonna rain, the word and girl won't change a thing. Yeah,
Options here on both sides of the football. It's pretty much of a coin flip if you ask me.
leave your Sunday best at home. Be the last time you wear what you got on. Bikini top and cut off jeans. Baby girl, you know you looking mean. She said, how we gonna make it through the mud hole? Won't you think you got swampers on my truck floor? Ooh, it's about to get dirty in the dirty south. I'm about to show you what it's all about. But don't worry, it's a rowdy crowd. We ain't scared, we're still throwing down. We gonna tap, light that fire. We gonna crank that country. Pass that, get thirsty. Well, it's about to get dirty. It's just something about a good old flood. Watching that red clay turn to mud. Sling it up, slap past the doors like a new paint job on a 4x4. Girl, you're gonna have a good old time. Can't let a little bit of rain change your mind. Let your hair down. Kick off.
All right, Larry, hope everyone is settled in for a great Draft Champions contest. Here, lucky to witness it. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. These guys that you see on your screen, they won't be witnessing. They will be participating in what should be an excellent game. Let's get down to the field. It's time for kick. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Jalen Smith out of Notre Dame. Partner, that's got to be one of the best stories in the NFL, seeing him out on the field.
Yeah, it really is. That injury that he had during the bowl game against Ohio State, boy, that hurt his draft stock. So nice to see him out there. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it second and short.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18. Come on, baby, alert. Alert.
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. Give him 14 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd.
We ready? Wide and yay. Wide and yay. Hey, we go rally. Rally.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Doug Baldwin taking it in. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll give the Vikings a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story. It never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Three yards remaining here on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's brought down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They go play action here on first down. He hits Baldwin right side. Touchdown, Vikings! Doug Baldwin, 42 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So 2nd and 10 here. Carr now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Carry on the return. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Hurry up, here we go.
And he motions the wide receiver. Here's a give to Whitlock, the fullback. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive was very, very balanced. Think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Wentz. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Here's Wentz to throw. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nickel Roby. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. Well, so they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
Here we go. Wide and yay. Wide and yay.
From the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And fourth down coming up. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Carr going to throw. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flush to his right. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
2nd down following the incompletion. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side.
Here we go now.
Wentz now on 1st down. And Olsen over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Caught here left side by Brett. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. Again, it's Williams. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back, away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
15 yards through the air and a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Pernell McPhee coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Now Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And this seemingly endless drive continues. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz surveying the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we're back now in Charlotte. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Now Carr on the bootleg. Steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. Carr, they set up the screen to Ajayi. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
Williams. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Damian Williams, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Drops it off to Ajayi. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver high in the air to bring it in. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The Hands team does its job. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after after this. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They run it again with Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he is going to look. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. To throw, it's Wentz. Finding fouls complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you,
on.
so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this in all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish in it. I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with Spanish. Walk up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has the time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block my hit cause someday